posted 2 years ago. Um, and then I read the post and it was like, I can't be around these people. And I'm saying it in the most compassionate way. Like, I understand because I used to be there. But after I looked at what the commenters she put on my post, I was looking at the page and there's people all in victimhood mode and feeling sorry for themselves and victim for their circumstances. And I've got compassion because I've been there. I was there like 2 years ago. That was me, you know. But I just realized that moment I can't be a part of this group anymore. I can't be around people who have the same, let's say, condition as me. Because it makes me go back into that. If that makes sense, it makes me like I felt myself going back into victimhood a bit. So I've just decided if I had to delete them all off my social media. Um, and I've got, because I want to let go of that part of me. I want to let go of the diagnosis. With compassion in my heart, I felt so much compassion for this lady that commented on it, my post. But yeah, letting go. And I'm very, very grateful for them because me being part of that group, I got to go to America because they had like a symposium in America. I got to go to Orlando because it was in Orlando. I got to go to Disneyland. I got to go to New York afterwards, and they paid for half of the flight, half of the food, and half of it was funded for me because of this event. So I'm very grateful that I got to go to America. I'm very grateful for the support they give me when I needed it, but I've just had to let go of it.
Mm.
It just made me realize how far that I've come, and I have to be very selective who I surround myself with because if I'm surrounded by too many people who are victim of their circumstances, I tend to fall back into it. So I've got to be really careful who I surround myself with, and that's part of my self-love and part of putting myself first.
Mm.
So yeah, letting go. Because I'm choosing to let go of this diagnosis. And what's been coming through for me is we choose everything, but before we're born, we choose absolutely everything. We choose our body, we choose our parents, we're choosing in this present moment. So how can you be a victim stance of circumstances you chose? There is no victimhood, it's all an illusion. We chose it, it's all victimhood's an illusion. So yeah.
You're not the condition. The condition is a part of you. Big difference. So you're doing
I
the
don't
right
even
thing.
like saying that word anymore because I know I'm not it, but I don't know how else to reword it. But yeah.
It's just part of your human condition.
But I chose that before I was born, so, and I know that.
And now you have chosen not to identify with it. Big step.
Yeah, big step, very great awareness, right? To begin to see the distance between where you are and where you were.
Yeah, but it was chosen to live through it, not to identify with it. It doesn't define you. In fact, it's impersonal.
That's what I've been letting go of because I used to let it define me, and I really got to see it when a woman commented on my post. And the comment she put, I was like, whoa, I really got to see compassion for her because I've been there. But I can't associate with people like that anymore. And I just can't for myself. for me to stay the path that I'm on, I can't associate with too many people that are in victimhood around a condition. I don't know how to reword it. I don't really like saying condition, but I don't know how else to, reword it. But yeah.
So true, all of it. It's, we're attracted, right? We're pulled together, and we want to belong, and we couple. I call it coupling. We'll couple to stories, narratives, attitudes, moods, stories, and like you said, being around that too much, where you're can pull us back to the old way of thinking that has been established for a long time. And you're choosing to say, no, I see a difference. I see a different way. I'm choosing that. And maybe in the future, when it comes back around and you say, oh, I could help I could support people see their victimhood. It's just not time. It's just not like you're getting your footing. And fundamentally, we're all taking the same journey. It's just specifically different for each of us.
Yeah, it's our piece of the collective wound in this particular life.
As if collectively we have to experience every possibility. I don't know. Or just enough, to get the whole experience. Fascinating,
Yeah, I feel like
either way. Please, Ian.
Yeah, I feel like in the future maybe I'll be able to support them and help them get out of the victimhood and help them see that they're not that condition. But at the moment, because I'm in a process of doing it and I'm in a process of turning it into wisdom and I'm in a process of actually doing it myself, I can't because I noticed when I read the page, I was going back into it. And it's like, no, I need to put myself first right now. So I've had to delete all the pages because, I've chosen to. But in the future, maybe, I think I will be able to.
Yeah, people need to see someone who's worked all the way through that and come to a resolution, come to completion through it. For me, it's kind of tied to the survival instinct, the fight or flight instinct. So the important thing about that is you live all the way through it, and then get to the end of it and then shake it off, just like the wild animals do when they're being attacked.
From being a student to becoming a teacher, becoming a great example for the others.
Well, you're an example, a role model. Yep, in a sense.
Proof of what is possible.
Yes.
But I've got to get there myself first, and I'm not fully there yet. I feel like I'm past halfway, but I'm not fully there. I'm not at the point where it being around that too much won't drag me back into it. I noticed when I did see the message, I noticed the helper coming out. The number 2 on the Enneagram, the helper, but I was like, no, I need to put myself first now. And I just had to completely, yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's how you come to completion with is by self-care, putting yourself first and actually allowing yourself to feel through the whole experience. But that's what makes you the role model.
Yep, that's how you become the great example.
Exactly.
It's time. Time is the only thing. And like you said, you need to work through it yourself, or you couldn't give them great advice. Then you can only give them advice.
I think the comment, what I can remember the comment said, she was saying about physical appearance and how skinny she is. And she was saying about she feels like she's got a skeleton face because her face is very thin. And because I've been working through that myself, I can't, and I'm still in the process of working through that. I can't, because I'm still in the process myself.
Yeah, you're not ready to help her yet. You will be very soon.
Good morning, Mona.
Good morning, Mona.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning,
I've
Wow,
been
Mona.
listening in.
wow, do you sound powerful this morning?
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a great morning. I mean, Ian, letting go. Golly, it is such a beautiful ability. What did you have for us this morning, Mona? I honor you, Ian. Like that awareness to it that you see the benefit for yourself of being able to let go of something and make new choices that serve you, that take care of you. That has come a long ways.
Yeah, I got to feel the shift when I was looking. Like, whoa, like who I used to be and who I am now was like, whoa, massive difference. And I just realized that, yeah, I've got to put myself first. Whereas the old me would have been the helper wanting to help, you know.
So good. And that's why I say is because once we line ourself out where we can stand in it and we can share our perspective, is that we come back to that which we were doing, just in a slightly different perspective. Because we know it's what we're here to do. We get wrapped up in how to do it So we tend to do it from the victimhood. And then when we return our power, we come back to it. But and differently, we come back to it. And that's what we get to share. That's where we get to truly help.
I think the thing is, like, when I was on there and I was reading a woman's comment and I was looking at the page because I haven't looked at it for so long, that page, and it just notification came up. I noticed me going back to Vic, but I noticed it straight away. It was like straight away, instantly I noticed it, and it's like, no.
Mhm.
It lasted for about like 10 minutes and I noticed it straight away, and it's like, no.
Mhm.
Whereas before I wouldn't have noticed it and I would have just, yeah, fell in.
Yeah. I call that self-awareness. It's you're noticing the defaults and actively changing them. The defaults of thoughts and feelings and habits or actions.
Yeah, a lot of people think that's support, and it's actually
Yeah.
not.
Good,
You need
good
real
word.
support as you're going through, real support, as in somebody cheering you on as you're going through. You don't need to find other people that are wallowing in the same shit. That's not helpful.
I think you're right, Craig. I think before that page, which I am thankful for at the time, was people feeling invicted and feeling sorry for themselves, and they're like validating each other for staying in victimhood.
Yes.
It's like, oh yeah, you're in victimhood, you got a right to be in victimhood, and they're just validating and they're just keeping each other in that victimhood. I could see it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly.
And that's
I mean,
dangerous.
there's people that are motivational speakers around certain ailments, let's say, that are basically supporting people in their shit, which is really drives me crazy because that really doesn't help anything.
Yeah. But it is what people want to hear.
Well, yeah, but that's the initial part of it. True.
Mm-hmm.
People need to hear that there's other people that are going through something similar, but that's where it ends, basically.
Yes, Craig. I'm not supporting it. I'm just saying that it's so much easier to do that than it is to do what Ian's doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was so much easier for me to put some up and people like, yeah, and it was so much easier to stay in a victimhood role and to have people confirm that, yeah, you got a right to stay in that role because of this and that and this and that.
Yeah.
And then all feel sorry for each other. It was more easy.
Yeah.
Then you're just supporting their victimhood and becoming it yourself.
Yeah, supporting a victimhood, that's exactly it. I saw it straight away.
Yeah, feeling sorry for it doesn't really help anything. Being heard does in your misery, that helps. But once you're heard, then you got to move forward.
And we all do it. We're all in it and we're all working to let it go and be or act something better than that. Yeah, a bad word. Different. Yeah. because it's not judgment. It's just that's the structure that we think works. But when you look at the structure, it's unresolvable. It's supporting what they don't want.
On the
Maybe
other
I'll
hand, it's
open
the
my
first
own
step
in
in
the
the recode.
future. Mm.
It is
Can
a
you
current
hold that?
reality, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Craig. So much. Thanks. Sorry, Ian.
Maybe I'll open my own in the future, but I'll do it from a place of
Hmm.
power and a place of
Yeah.
structure.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I
I
can
know
teach
you will.
people how to
Yes.
do it from undo recodes and stuff. And yeah,
Yes.
maybe in the future I'll do that.
Yes. Look at that on your
But
terms, coming to
I
you.
I just couldn't be the part of one that's the victim would. And that's for
No.
me. So much compassion for them now, because I've been there.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
How does it feel to stand in your power?
it just felt completely different.
Mhm. Yes.
And I could see how far that I've come, because when I was doing the post, it's like that was me like 2, 3 years ago. So I felt compassion because I've been there. But you can't see a way out and you feel so victimhood of your body and your circumstances. And
No. No, you can't.
And unfortunately, it feels safe to be in the victimhood because it's known.
Mhm.
It's what we
Mhm.
know. Working
Yes,
through it is the unknown.
and then we begin to crave it because it's an unresolvable, so that we look for more, but then we don't feel any better. Better yet, we get a spike that we feel better, but then we fall back into it, right? And so it's never working its way out. It's just always wallowing. That's the structure. Hmm.
there was even a word in the support group, we fight together. And it's like, yeah, I could see it.
Right? Yeah. It's a, it's such a, it's so deep in our society. I mean, I even catching myself saying, "Oh, I'm fighting for the family," and it's like, ugh, ugh, ugh. It's like,
When you think about it, fighting normally is destroying. When you could say, I'm working for the family,
yeah,
then you're building.
yeah, building, connecting, deepening. Like, oh, there's so many better words.
Yeah, that's the point, that fighting it actually makes it worse. In fact, that that's part of the wound, actually, is the fighting it.
Mhm.
Good morning, Allison.
More than Alice said.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
Alison.
Allison.
Good morning, everybody. So good to hear all your different voices.
Speaking right to you, inviting you. Yes. I honor that, Allison, is that just in the awareness, because you called it out, is that your skill in listening for the voices. And we all have it. I just pointing to it that I noticed that it's because of my work here with each of you. It's so important. Mona, would you like to catch Allison up?
Allison, we're talking about letting go today, and Ian has been really educational about vibration and being around the wrong kind of people and how it can really drag you down and take you into victimhood very easily.
Mm. Thank you, Mona.
I think that sums it up pretty quickly.
Mhm.
Great summoning. Fast and precise.
That's Mona.
Right to the point.
Yeah.
Powerfully right to the point.
Mm. Always with compassion.
Yeah. That's what I heard, Ian, was letting go with compassion. What a skill. What a move.
I just don't. I was just gonna say, like, I just don't feel that way anymore. Like, I am feeling a bit tired today, but I'm using it as as a good thing to help practice self-compassion. I'm seeing it as an opportunity to practice self-compassion. I don't see it as, oh, I'm tired today, or I'm in victimhood. I see it as an opportunity to practice self-compassion. I don't see it in that. I'm not seeing it in the victimhood mode anymore. I can feel the shift. Oh, today I'm tired, but what a great opportunity to practice self-compassion.
Yeah, look at it. Yeah. I hear you shifting it to a positive. What would your default have been in the past? Just for contrast.
I would have been like, oh, I'm tired today, and I would have just felt sorry for myself.
Yeah. Thank you. And as you said earlier, it's like that the difference between the two is always your choice. The issue is that we don't see it as our choice, which means we don't see the alternative, which means we never explore it.
Like even yesterday, I was tired, so I fell asleep at like 7 p.m. and I woke up at like 9 p.m. today, 9 a.m. sorry, so I slept like, I don't know, 12 hours. But I just woke up and like, oh, I've had an abundance of sleep and carried on. Whereas before I would have been like, oh, I slept so long, I wasted so much time. But yeah, I've had an abundance of sleep and just carried on, got up.
That's the right way to look at it. Shifting the attitude you have about it. I can say, oh my God. I used to say, oh my God, I'm so tired. I think I'll go get some sleep. I'll say, I'm tired. Well, that's an opportunity to catch up on some sleep. Same thing
Oh, I had an
happens.
abundance of sleep last night, didn't I? And that's it, move on.
Yeah. Take the obvious action. Without all the bullshit, without all the story, without all the attachment. not without all the other stuff we make up.
Good morning, Annette.
Yes, good morning, Annette.
Good morning.
Another powerhouse.
Good morning, Annette.
Yes. Good morning, Annette.
Good morning. I've been listening a little bit live on YouTube as I was doing a few things, and now I've got a few minutes to pop on and join the conversation.
Yay.
Good work, Ian. High five.
Yes.
Thank you. High five.
Group high five. Around the circle. I just see him running around the circle giving a high fives to everyone.
Mm.
Yeah, it's so good, Ian. It helps all of us look at ours and celebrate ours and where we've let go and what we still have to let go.
Mm.
But I can now, I've come on here and I said I can see in the future me opening up a page and doing it. I can see it now. I can visualize it like from a place of power.
Mhm.
Mm. Doing recodes and teaching people our structure and yeah, I can see it. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, to me, it
Thanks.
helps a lot with the languaging too. Like,
Mhm.
be very careful about using the term I am. So it's like I am tired is a declaration about who you are, about what you are. Whereas my body feels tired is something totally different.
Mhm.
Okay, when I say
Again.
I am tired, I'm identifying with tired. I'm identifying myself with tired. And my body is tired, or my body feels tired, doesn't identify with myself.
I like that.
It's,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. And so what you're realizing is that your body's giving you a signal that it might be time to rest. And that's not an identity, that's the suggestion.
My body feels tired. I like it
Yeah.
because I know I'm not my body, so my body. Yeah.
So even the knee-jerk response when somebody asks you, how are you? Oh, I'm great. Same with that.
Craig, but it's how you say you're great. Are you saying it as a word, or are you saying it with the emotion that's inside of you? There's the difference.
Well, there you go. That's the point. Taking a look at it. Where's
Yeah.
that coming from?
Yeah, because if you feel a little trigger or a little squiggly thing inside of you, you know it's not true when you say that. And yet when you feel this warmth and energy inside you when you say it, you know there's something there.
Uh-huh.
So Craig, I'm just curious because it's something I've been wanting to do. How would you reword the word th- condition? Because I don't really want to say condition anymore, but I don't know how to reword it.
Yeah, it's like the difference between I'm disabled or I'm a person with a disability.
I like that. Because that separates the two.
Yeah, I'm a person with a condition.
Because I used to
No,
say disease, but I don't like that word, so I say condition now.
Mm.
You could also frame it up as a state of unease.
Yeah, dis-ease.
Thank you. I just want to see it from a point where I'm not identifying with it anymore because I'm letting it go.
Yep. Yep.
So thank you.
the word I heard you use that I liked was I'm experiencing. It's like it's the experience. So the condition is an experience. That to me could be more of a neutral, if that's a. And the other thing for you, Ian, could be condition. And then what 5 words are closely related to that in your vocabulary?
Lessons, because there's been a lot of lessons around it that I've learned.
Yeah.
Learning,
Mhm.
growth, expansion, and compassion.
Mhm. Thank you. That is, it's like, oh, here what's landed for me is my experience of that is that your condition has brought forth compassion. So it's your compassionate condition.
Or you can apply compassion to your condition
Mhm.
or to the condition because it's not your condition either. You don't own it.
For me, it's an and rather than an or. Just for that little thing.
And,
So, Ian, I was sitting with a very similar thing in terms of my body about 2 weeks ago. And what came to me was that it has a very different way of harmonizing to what most people's do. And I also use the word condition. I don't use the word autoimmune. It feels less, I feel less attached when I use the word condition. And if they ask for specifics, then I say that it has an autoimmune response. Because it's not a disease. Your situation is different to mine. Um, but I think what I came to is that I've always thought of it differently to the way in which I would talk about it to others. But it was good to explore it again.
So, Allison, if I ask this question, we're fundamentally the same and uniquely different. More specifically, so if I use fundamentally the same and specifically different.
That fits.
It gives a different footing for us to come from.
Mm-hmm.
Like on New Year's Eve, I went to this place for New Year's Eve. It was amazing. It was like a sober party with cacao and meditation. It was absolutely amazing. And at the end, I was talking to this lady, and she said to me, "Oh, you're quite thin. Why?" And then she was asking me about nutrition, and I just turned around and said, "Why does that matter?" And that's it. I'm not explaining myself. Why does that matter? Thanks. I know you're saying it from a concern place, but why does it matter? Because you're saying it actually from a place of concern about nutrition. It wasn't malicious. She was actually asking out of concern. So I could tell the difference. And I was like, why does that matter?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I am. And that's all I said, because I didn't want to, I don't feel the need to explain myself. I'm not explaining myself. So
Mm-hmm. It's a good response.
that's going to be my new thing. If somebody asks, I'll say, why does it matter?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, Chi.
Morning, Chi. Afternoon, Chi.
Afternoon, Chi.
Glorious day, everyone.
Good to have you.
Yeah, I've been listening on the live, so yeah, it was great conversation.
The last thing I'm going to say about it is, I think the big shift for me, what I've noticed is, I'm seeing the lessons behind it instead of seeing the what's the word? I'm seeing the lessons behind it instead of seeing the suffering. Whereas before I would see like the suffering part, but now I'm actually seeing the lessons behind it. Oh, I'm learning self-compassion. Oh, I'm learning to love myself. Oh, I'm learning self-acceptance.
yeah, what I've learned is that either we are allowing the light or we are dimming the light. Like when we choose to live in the past, and blame, shame, and guilt and fear and all that, we choosing to dim the light. But when we choose to create in the moment, then we choosing the light. We have to allow the light. So yeah, I've been dimming the light all along, without. It's a pattern.
So
Not
I'll
that
tie
no.
that. Sorry.
Sorry.
Thank you for your contribution, Chi. That's amazing.
And I'll tie that together with what Craig pointed to earlier about not identifying. When you let that identity go, there's a space for the light, right? Way more.
Absolutely.
And I think that ties into the word letting go of it. And so,
yes,
into your list of lessons, I honor letting go.
One last thing I'm gonna say. I've seen a pattern, but now I've seen that I'm able to integrate it more. I've seen the thing for me, the biggest thing is wanting to prove myself. There's something around wanting to prove myself to people. And I've seen where it's come from. What I've seen is when I was younger, it's around my dad when I was younger, because my dad was an alcoholic, and wanted to prove myself to my dad, wanted to prove that I'm good enough to be his son, and wanted to prove that I'm male. What I've realized where it's coming from is growing up, I didn't conform to what male should do. I didn't conform to the male identity. So because I didn't conform to the male identity, the consequence was my dad withheld his approval. So yeah, I've seen where it's coming from. It's coming from my dad, and I'm in the process of integrating it now. Like my appearance didn't conform to the male standard because he would say that because I'm small, so he used to say I'm not built like a boy because I'm small. I used to play with Barbie dolls, my sister's Barbie dolls, so that didn't fit into what a male should do. So that's where it's coming from, wanting to prove myself.
Then even being a male is a condition.
I didn't fit into the norm of what a male should be.
Did you notice that you identified your dad as an alcoholic?
Yeah.
So there it is right there. Like it's a family pattern identifying with a condition.
Oh, wow.
It's a human pattern in the world.
Ian, my dad
Yeah.
is very much a man's man, but he has some effeminate qualities. And his mom, his job was to help clean house on the weekends. And she used to tell him that he was geared more like a girl than he was a guy. And I think that's what possessed him to be the man's man. Because it was not acceptable to have effeminate qualities in his day and age. The feminine side wasn't allowed to show itself.
It's so ironic. We need both.
I think we are both. We just
Yeah.
are told from a child that we have to choose and dominate with one or the other.
Mm-hmm. Exclusively.
We can't look at ourselves as a whole and say, I have guy qualities and I have girl qualities, quote unquote. And it's okay to have both parts to be a whole. But we're not taught that. We're taught you have to be one or the other.
Not conforming to the expectations of my gender. That was the thing. And it sounds like it was the same with your father as well, so thank you.
Yeah. He was not good with girls, so he raised us like boys. That created an identity crisis for me.
And for him. It's like just the family pattern.
I'm just starting to see it now, like very clearly, like withholding of the masculine love and approval. And I know I've said this story before, but like marrying a woman, being a gay man, I said about the circumstance. It was like when I did that and I told my dad, it was like, I'm a man now. Like he saw me more as a man. And that got his approval. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. See all the things that we made up that we'd have to do to get that approval, or when we got the disapproval. Fascinating. Just let us be. Just let us be. Like, right? Just be. That's what's shaping in the world today, in places, in families. And you think it's like it had to go that way to let it go, to learn the lesson, to come to compassion for it.
But thanks, Craig. I didn't see it as a family pattern.
Yeah, that's huge.
Like my sister, she identifies with mental health issues. My other sister identifies with other stuff. My brother. So yeah, I can see it.
I think that was just a great observation, Craig.
Yeah, and those any kind of that identification, it boxes you in. It's a self-imposed limit.
I
Part of
recently
it
had a
is,
good experience concerning letting go. I have not had a very close relationship with my kids in a long time. And I miss that. And I thought that we should communicate in an expected way. And because I was able to let that go, I got an opportunity to see photos of my grandchildren and talk to them. And it came from an unexpected place. And it had nothing to do with my daughter. So that was very huge for me. And it came about because I was consistent with certain behaviors. And I think it shows that people can change.
Congratulations, Mona. That's a huge win.
But I had to let go of the outcome how I thought it should be.
Mm. But you didn't let go of love.
No.
For me, letting go is experiencing the feelings or emotions and the thoughts that you didn't want to face because you didn't want to experience them. Instead, you tuck them away. And for me, letting go was to sit through those thoughts, those feelings, those emotions, those reactions, and just sit right through them. That I was able to release. And yet, I had a dream a couple weeks ago, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, somewhere in there. I don't know the timeline anymore. So many things have happened. Where the dream, actually, I was telling myself to let go, but I didn't know what. And so the journey since then is trying to discover what was it. I thought it was one thing, and it turned out to be many things. And in each one of them was a conversation within myself where I had to face the feelings in a different way. And last night, it was profound. Somebody said to me, and I'm going to paraphrase it, when somebody trashes the relationship or trashes the love, they're not eligible anymore for that relationship or for that love. They're not eligible. Because they trashed it. Where I was then keeping a little door just cracked open, a little window cracked open, just in case, that little tiny bit of hope. But wouldn't change how they trashed it. and it hit me like electrical shock through my arms and through the trunk of my body. And I realized that keeping that opening, just that little bit of opening, that little bit of hope, was doing more damage to me because I wasn't facing the emotions of what that trashing had done. But facing it then and there was the best thing for me. Those words were the best thing for me. And I went through all the emotions right then and there. And then I went to bed. And I woke up today and I'm great. And great, I can say it and feel good about it too.
Yeah, it's sincere. Your heart can identify with great, can't it?
Yeah, I can.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah, there's this sense of calmness, peace. And it's a different peace than when we would talk about peace in other realms. It's just different. It's just
there's a truth in it.
Yeah.
That your whole body knows and feels, right?
Yes, I feel taller.
Mm-hmm.
I feel lighter. My body feels lighter. I feel taller.
Just by facing it, you
It's
face
so
yourself.
interesting, hey, how that happens.
Yeah.
We think it's just a thought, but it really goes into the physical. And then we see how connected it all is.
Yeah, that the I am statement always does that. So it's important to use them sparingly and use them use them for the correct things for you. So when you can say, I am great, your whole body, your whole being,
I'm gonna
validated
say the
that.
word. Yeah, it's like it celebrates it from within.
Celebrates is a better word. Yes.
Has its own little party inside of you. And only you know where that is.
Yep. Yep.
But it's a real celebration this Sunday morning. So much is getting cleaned up. Great.
Yeah, and then I'm working on putting together a recovery program. And what you just did there really, really fleshed out a huge chunk of it. Celebrates is a good word. Yeah.
I'm glad I could contribute to that. Great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Celebrate is part of the giggle.
Yes.
That is so good, Jesse. It is part of the giggle. You're right.
I think it is the giggle. It's a spark of joy. Big spark of joy.
Well, Thank you, everyone. What a great morning.
Yes. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
my
everyone.
first hour.
Thanks,
Have a wonderful
everyone.
day.
Thank you.
Bye,
everyone.
everyone. Big love.
Bye-bye.
Big love.
Have a good
Love
day.
and hugs, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for being here, each of you.
Take care.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
hosting, Jesse.
Yeah.
Yes.